f3, and Ding responded with d5 and got very nice initiative with that. What were your thoughts at that point? Have you considered something else than capture on c4?
Well, I don't know what to say, so I surely checked like a few different options, but I guess the problem was that in the line takes f3, bishop f8. I wanted to play bishop f4, and then after, let's say d5, e5, knight d7, rook e1, queen c7. Looks like it's very hard to protect this pawn, because if I would protect it, I think I would get a very nice position, but I didn't see it. And also it was, let's say, a plan B, like to play just f3, bishop f8, knight f5, d5, bishop d4, fe4, d4, fe4. But here I wasn't so sure, like, if I really have some compensation if it just takes on e4. So it looks very nice, but after knight e4 I didn't see anything like any solution, because queen is coming to g5, so looks also looks quite nice for black. Yeah, so I mean it was quite sad for me, but yeah, I just decided to go to some passive defense, and yeah, I really didn't really like my position, but yeah, I guess this rook e5 perhaps was artificial. I think something like queen c7, rook a8 would work like a charm for black.
Right, and what do you think where your position started to get worse and something was wrong?
Yeah, I guess I mixed up something. Maybe I should include a b5 before d4, but yeah, I should check with check the game later.
Thank you. Ding, how comfortable was for you to play this position when you pushed d5 and you were blitzing out all this move d5, knight d5? What was the evaluation of the position for you?
Well, it's a tense struggle. That at one point the center was occupied by pieces, not by the pawns. Yeah, this d5 break I'm very happy to play, because it's like some kind of Sicilian defense. Then after, if black can successfully play d5, then he has no problem at all. He can also hope for some advantages after that. Yeah, I thought after bishop e4, I was better in this position, but it's not so easy to prove that the clear advantage for black. I want to play for the maximum by rook e5, try to protect the pawn knight with the rook, but it also has some drawbacks with this move.
So basically the idea of rook e5 was to protect the knight.
Yeah, try to take back the knight with a rook.
Have you considered to play, instead of queen to e7, queen to e8 move?
A little bit, because I missed queen d4. It's a very powerful move. Yes.
Okay. My next question to Jan. When Ding played f5, that really spiced up things. Were you happy to see this move? 5, that really spiced up things. Were you happy to see this move? What was the evaluation after that move? Because you got the exchange.
I mean, you better tell me what was the evaluation. Yeah?
You had better position.
Yeah, but I'm not sure it was a lot. So I had some idea, like to play maybe 94, knight g6 or 94, knight e6, but I couldn't see how the things work. And then I'm not so sure. Yes, so I thought like it's very healthy just to trade away a pair of rooks. But I don't know. I didn't see anything I didn't see how they prevent this knight d3. So in tactical things, everything works for black, it seems. So well, I really wasn't sure. So obviously the play could be improved, but I mean, I'm not sure it was like that much better.
All right, and also in the end game, that the position has been repeated. If this was another game of not the match, not the one of the last rounds, would you continue to play this end game, or anyway the position for you was equal?
But I mean, I didn't see like why am I better. So, I mean, my rook is passive, and the problem that he always has the counterplay against the b pawn, so he's not obliged to protect on e4. Actually, he could play king e6, let's say, instead of knight c1. I also had this idea, like after knight c1 to play knight e4. Perhaps it's like slightly better, but then bishop g1 check, yeah, just it goes to opposite color bishop endgame. So if not bishop g1, it would be slightly playable for white, because the bishop on b5 would be a little bit bad. Yeah, but I don't know. I just didn't see like why should I be better here, though. Maybe I actually was, but I think the king is close, and like black has very nice setup.
Thank you. And thinking about the last position, the end game, you gave some thought before you repeated the position. What was your evaluation in that end game, and how you made this decision to repeat the position?
Well, I think I have the repetition on hand. I also considering king e6 to play for a win, but I saw knight e4, take, king d5, or rook e8. If I take on b2, he can check on d8, king e4, and check on e8. And maybe it's also perpetual, because if I go king d3, maybe check on d8. Then he can play bishop e5. It's also a draw position, I think. So in the end, I decided just to repeat moves.
Right, I would ask the same question as I asked Jan. If not the match, if not the one of the last rounds, would you continue this endgame, or would you just agree a draw anyway?
I agree to draw anyway, because the position is a draw. It's no way for me, at least for me, to play for win.
All right. Thank you very much. Time for the press. We'll go first, please.
Здравствуйте, Эльмира Мирзоева, телеканал Матч ТВ. Вопрос Яну Непомнящему. Ян, расскажите, пожалуйста, в целом о сегодняшней партии, о том, как складывался дебют, и когда у вас возникло ли ощущение, что что-то идет не так для белых?
Hello, my name is Elmira Mirzoeva. I'm from Match TV channel. The question is to Jan Nepomniachtchi. Please tell us about today's game and how it was going, and are you happy with the opening, and what went wrong, if anything?
Спасибо за вопрос. Возникло ощущение, что что-то идет не так вчера. Вот, так что сегодня оно разве что потихоньку отступало. Ну, думаю, что в дебюте я где-то неправильно момент сыграл d4, поэтому черные, в принципе, легко уравняли. Вот, ну, дальше была не очень приятная позиция. Ну, мне казалось, что она как бы защитима, но придется пострадать. Но после ладьи e5, мне кажется, у белых, ну так. Мне очень сильно не нравился ферзь c7, ладья d8. Вот, ну, после ладьи e5, не знаю, как-то ход в ход получилось отбиться. А в эндшпиле я, кстати, не знаю, то есть, наверное, какие-то шансы были, но я их не сумел изыскать.
Actually, after yesterday's game, something went wrong. I felt it. And today, this feeling just went down slowly. And then in the opening, after this d4, it went better. And then the blacks, they equaled the position. And after it was played rook e5 and queen d7, and then rook d8. And after that, especially after rook e5, I was able to protect, to defend the position. And in the end game, I couldn't find a way to win. That's why it was drawish. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question, Leoncho.
Leoncho Garcia from El País. My today's question is for Ian. I remember a very famous advice given by very prominent Soviet coaches to their grandmasters many years ago. After a very painful defeat, next day you should look for a quick draw. But on the other hand, today you were white for the last time in this match. I wonder if you had this kind of dilemma before the match, before the game, sorry.
Yeah, obviously I had the dilemma.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we have a follow-up or? That's okay. And next question from commentary team.
It's a question for Ding. Can you explain your thinking when playing Rook e5, like what the idea was and what other moves were you considering there?
Well, my first intention was to play Rook b8, but he will take on d5 anyway, and if I take with the bishop, he can play Queen d2 to protect the pawn, and I didn't see a way to push for the advantage. I also considered something like knight f4 to sacrifice the pieces, but it's I guess it's not enough. So in the end, I decided to go for this. Looks very risky, but I guess it's not that risky. And Rook e5.
So you were like trying to double on the e file with the queen, or try to put the rook on g5, or?
No, the rook is stay on e5 to protect the knight.
Okay. And after knight f4, how did you evaluate the position? Like, did you think the attack is not working, or it's equal, or?
Knight f4
Yeah.
To sacrifice the bishop.
Yes.
I just calculate several moves, and it's still on some dark ocean. It's kind of the position, so I didn't go further into it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question from Chessbase India.
Hi, Aditya from Chessbase India. Question to Nepo. Nepo, we are told while learning chess that you should have a poker face while you're playing and not show your expressions even if you are in a bad position. But yesterday you let your emotions on the board and everybody was watching you going through the pain. But we failed to ask you that what were you actually feeling then? And today when you came back in a match where it's so close, how do you pick yourself up and go for the win?
Thank you for the question. Do know really what to say. Yeah, I mean, wasn't the sweetest moment yesterday, and well, today like I just came and tried to play chess, which obviously was not too brilliant, but yeah, I tried.
That's great. It's a commendable job. It gives a lot of encouragement to a lot of youngsters who go through this every day on the board, but to come back and show yourself up and be positive is a great thing. Great compliments to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question, please.
Здравствуйте. Каждый чемпион мира хочет оставить после себя наследие. И готов ли, вопрос обоим участникам, готов ли чемпион мира пообещать хотя бы остаться в Астане на пару дней и дать мастер-класс юным нашим спортсменам, которые могли бы это наследие узнать?
The question is, every world champion tries to leave his legacy behind him, and in the same manner, every world champion tries to leave his legacy behind him, and in the same manner, are you ready to stay in Astana for a couple more days and give a masterclass to young chess players?
This is question to Jan, to both players. Oh, okay, yeah.
Вопрос к обоим участникам. The
Okay.
question to Dean and to Yang.
Okay, let's go with Jan first.
Да, вопрос с подвохом, очевидно, да?
Ну почему? Ну, если станете чемпионом мира, готовы ли пообещать?
Поживем и видим.
Но это же не ответ.
Почему вы решили, что это не ответ?
Ну хорошо.
Let's translate, please.
My answer is, well, this is a tricky question, first of all, and we will see. Let's see first. That's the answer of Jan Nepomniachtchi.
Fair enough. Ding, what about you?
Well, I have very busy schedule. After the tournament, I have to go to the Grand Chess Tour, so there is no time for the lecture.
Ну, на самом деле у меня очень плотный график после чемпионата мира, и я дальше поеду в Нир Grand Chess Tour, и поэтому у меня нет времени на это. Спасибо.
Right. Thank you. Next question, please.
Ja, Ulrich Stock, Die Zeit, Hamburg, Germany. A question for Ding. Jan, everybody saw his emotions yesterday on the board, but I guess you have had also very strong emotions after the game. Could you describe them, and how did you get along with that?
No, I didn't have too strong emotions after yesterday's win. Well, it's normal. It's average level. Yeah, I saw Ian. He looks very, very upset when he missed rook e6. Yes, but at that point, I tried to just focus on the position and did not influence by him. Yeah, that's it.
But you equalized the match, so this doesn't give any feelings to you?
Yeah, the emotion might occur later, not immediately after the game, but it will appear later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please. Maria.
Maria Cheskoma, I don't have a question. I just want to say this match is a lecture, and thank you both players for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If press has question, please line up here on this side of the microphone. And now we're ready to hear the tweets from Jesse. So please.
I apologize in advance for today's questions. Jan.
Better not to ask it.
Fair enough. Jan, yesterday, is it correct that you stepped into both rest areas? Did you accidentally step into Ding's, or did you miss him that much during the rest day?
No, I think it's quite. I'd say it's quite comfy when you're like moving around. You can see because of the like placement of their lounges. Yeah, you can see their transmission.
Ding, will you and Richard continue working together after this match?
Working together.
Will you and Richard continue
Richard.
working? Yeah.
Working is another thing, but I think we will, because we will play many tournaments together, so we will spend more time with each other.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Another one for Ding. How do you feel going into the last round with the white pieces? I know you made a note of mentioning the number of white games you've had left.
It's both advantage and also disadvantage. I remember once Topalov, the Topalov-Anand match, where Topalov had white pieces in the last game, but he destroyed it. So, yeah, I have a rest day to see what to play for the last, or maybe not the last game. Yeah.
Thank you. And my last question is for Jan. I'm only asking this question because of the volume at which it was requested. But are you superstitious in any way when it comes to your outfit choice?
Does it really matter?
I guess not.
So then I'll skip it.
Thanks.
Can I ask the same question in a different
No.
words? So you just like pink color? We suppose yes. All right, do we have more questions from the audience? No? Okay, I don't have more questions about the pink shirt, so thank you very much. Tomorrow we have a rest day. Thank you.
One game remains to decide the 2023 World Champion, and we've finished game 13, ends peacefully, and that means that both players are tied with 6.5. Big question on everyone's mind: will we have a world champion in the classical game? Will it go to tie breaks? Will Ding Liren push for a win with white, or will he play it safe and force the match into the playoffs? We saw the players at the press conference, and the thing that struck out to me was that they looked pretty chill. They were pretty calm. They were discussing analysis, lines, cracking some jokes, very different from the Yan and Ding that we saw earlier in the match.
Yeah, well, I'd say the big. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Fabi.
No, you go first. You go first, Robert.
I would say the biggest difference I think we've seen from Ding is that he's much more talkative. He seems quite happy, whereas in other press conferences he's been down. So I think the win yesterday and a draw with Black today has energized him to the extent that he is now very coming out of his shell and answering all these questions, and he seems to be in quite a good mood.
Yeah, that struck me as well. I feel like Ding looks like he's in good mood, and Jan, to the contrary, does not look happy whatsoever. He didn't look happy at the questions. I think the last two days, obviously, pretty much couldn't have gone worse for him, so he's definitely not happy about that. And yeah, I guess, of course, Jan will continue fighting super hard. It might even be a good thing that he's not happy. Maybe it'll fire him up. But yeah, he's not pleased with the whole situation.
I mean, he was leading up until yesterday, and of course, the match could have been very different if things would have gone differently for Jan Nepomniachtchi, and he was so close to it. And Fabio mentioned that Jan was not looking too happy, not too pleased at the press conference, but he was still very straightforward, just saying no to questions he didn't want to answer, and still giving his thoughts on the things that he was comfortable sharing. I have to say, it's been very impressive to watch Jan today, to come back from what he experienced yesterday with such little time to recover shows immense mental fortitude. It comes down to that moment that Ding mentioned, and Fabi, you called this out, that the miss by Ding today was the move queen to d4, which actually just neutralized the advantage, the edge that Ding Liren had in today's game. And full marks, full credit to Jan Nepomniachtchi being under so much pressure for finding that move and being able to just hold his own in this game 13. And Fabi, you have been in this situation, a level score before the final game. Your match against Magnus going into game 12, it was very similar to this. A different way that both of you reached that game 12 compared to what we're seeing right now with the back and forth. But what are the nerves like, Fabi, for the players going into that final game?
Yeah, enormous amount of nerves. And I wanted to press in the final game against Magnus with the white pieces. I didn't really get a chance to because I was just on the back foot early on in that game. I was much, much worse, and he offered a draw in a better position. So I simply had to accept that draw. My position was quite close to losing at some moment in that game. I don't think we'll see a repeat of that tomorrow. I don't think that Ding will be trying to take too many risks. I was basically playing the sharpest possible line at that point in the match. I had kind of identified that this line I wanted to play against Magnus Sveshnikov, and that's why I was going for a super sharp fight. But Ding, we've seen him. Yeah, he has some ideas, but he mentioned in the press conference, and I want to point to this specifically. He said, I'll use the rest day to see what I'll play tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but the day after. And that means, and he's basically saying directly, that he doesn't know what he's going to play. So he's going to look through his repertoire of ideas, look through Jan's openings, see if he can find some sort of idea. It's probably not going to be a big one. We already saw he's basically resorting to knight f3, e3, the Collet system, not like going all out for the win, even though it did, funnily enough, turn into a huge fight with both players having chances and back and forth, and one of the sharpest games of the match. But he's playing quiet opening systems, so we might see a return to that. And if he gets some chances, like against Hikaru and the candidates, he'll take them. If he doesn't, we have to admit the likelihood of a draw between two players of his strength is quite high. I'm saying that a draw and a tiebreak playoff is very, very likely. And I'm actually excited for that prospect because this is not a match where it ends in a draw. The game might end in a draw, but we're going to have a winner at the end of the day, and we will see that winner in that final playoff day.
And I think what's really interesting when it comes to what preparation Ding Liren, Richard Report, that team does during the rest day tomorrow is, do they start preparing for Rapid? They won't explicitly say that necessarily unless Ding Liren is going into game 14 planning to strictly make a draw, because with the white pieces he can force that issue. But what I'm wondering is if Richard Report, he'll probably be tasked with preparing the white pieces for game 14, but also the black pieces for a potential Rapid tiebreak. There is a lot of work to be done. You don't just go in saying, okay, we'll deal with that when it comes. You want to get a head start. So I'm wondering if Team Ding, they don't mind the Rapid. They think that his chances can come in the Rapid because we've seen when you press too much with the white pieces, as Ding Liren, he referenced history. He said that, okay, on into Paulo, these situations happen where the player with the black pieces gets a much needed W. And so going into game 14, you can't just go all in. You can't just say, this is my moment. You need to be careful, as Fabiano himself experienced in game 12 against Magnus Carlsen in 2018.
And then Liren echoed that sentiment, Robert, when he mentioned that it is an advantage, but also a disadvantage to have the white pieces in the final game, because it really puts the ball on his court for him to decide how much risk does he want to take in this absolute last game of the World Championship match. It could backfire if it's not a calculated risk. And Fabi, I just want to follow up on what you said earlier. You were talking about the World Championship match with Magnus, that last game, game 12, where in fact with the black pieces, Magnus did get a good position, but just offered a draw and the match was taken to playoffs. Now, how critical is that? In this match, what Ding decides, the strategy that he decides before the game, compared to the objective positions that he does get or the creative chances that he does get out of the game, is it more important for a player to just have a plan and stick by it, or to play it as the position develops, as the game 14 might develop?
Well, I think Mike Tyson said it best, right? Everyone has a game plan until they get punched in the face. And although these players are obviously not trading physical blows, still you can deal with a lot of blows over the chest position, right? You're prepared for something, even if you get a good position from the opening. You still, if you make one mistake, like today, Jan got a worse position, and then Ding made a mistake, and suddenly Jan had a better position. So we could easily see that back and forth. You have to be ready for the possibility that you have a worse position, that you have to calculate super tough variations. You might have a general game plan that I want to play safe, and I don't want to take a lot of risk. But sometimes it happens that you get a good position, and it gives you a lot of ambition, and of course, correctly, you should try to take your chances. But then you miscalculate something, suddenly you have a bad position, and that's how your game plan can get messed up potentially. So I won't predict what will happen in the last game. I think anything could happen. We've seen between these two guys throughout the match a lot of unexpected occurrences, a lot of things where we were super confident a certain move will be played, and then suddenly another move, a completely different move than we expected. I mean, even in this game today, Rookie 5 was a small example of something nobody expected. So I would say expect the unexpected, but if we get a playoff, I'm here for it. I'm going to enjoy watching these two guys duke it out in rapid chess.
I feel like that's been the motto of this match from the very start, from game one. Expect the unexpected. What you can expect is that there is the final rest day tomorrow, a very crucial one, where, of course, Team Ding will decide how much they want to push for with the white pieces going into the Saturday final game. And the task for Team Yan is also cut up, that if Ding does decide to take it on, does decide to take on the challenge, where will Yan try to neutralize it and make sure that the situation and the position stays under control? These two have been epic players in this match so far. It has been such an exciting World Championship. As Maria herself mentioned in the press conference, the two have given so much joy to the chess world, and we've got one final game remaining. It will be there after the rest day tomorrow, a very important one. Once again, thank you so much, Fabi. Thank you so much, Robert. This was amazing. What an incredible day we had. Jan Nepomniachtchi comes back with the mental strength that he needs to go into game 14. Ding Liren also feeling confident. We have come down to the wire. It's going to be a big day. And before we sign off, I'm going to ask you guys my final question. If this was to go into a playoff, Fabi, Robert, I'm going to start with Fabi. Who is a favorite in that playoff?
This is such a difficult question. I mean, these guys are going to be so evenly matched in the rapid, and I might give Ding the slight favorite just because of the trend of the match, but I have to say that this is about as close to 50-50 as you can get, and I know that sounds like a cop-out, but that's really what I think. I would not be confident betting on either one of them. And we've seen before, not only in this match, but in their previous results, in their previous matches, a lot of back and forth. And yeah, either of these guys could be world champion coming into the final day, coming into the potential final playoff.
And I'll say that my answer sort of depends on how much Ding Liren tries in game 14. Because if he wants to play ambitiously and Jan Nepomniachtchi holds a draw, I think suddenly Jan will be feeling better about his chess. The last 2 days have been really bad from Jan from a psychological perspective. And if we're being frank, in game 12, he had the upper hand and he threw it all away, and that's unfortunate because his play was shaky. But I think if he can right the ship and he has only one classical game remaining, then maybe he will have the advantage going into Rapid. After all, he leads their head-to-head matchup coming into this World Championship. It remains the same because they're all knotted up that he has the slight lead against Ding Liren historically speaking. So why not? Jan Nepomniachtchi could end this event as the world champion.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it, guys. I hope that we get a playoff. These two, with their back and forth, have played such incredible chess that I would love to see this match go down to the wire, for them to play all these different time controls, and then we will, well, one way or the other, either in game 14 or the tie breaks, we will indeed have a world champion, and it is going to be between Jan Nepomniachtchi, Ding Liren. Fatigue, energy, stamina, these are one thing. Nerves, control of tension, also playing the best chess that's possible right now with the world number 2, world number 3. What a fantastic match this has been. And I'm really looking forward to game 14. It is a rest day. We could have a world champion day after tomorrow when we return, or we might see an incredible tiebreak. And as we head into the rest day, we will leave you with the best moments from today from game 13.
Plays F5?
F5.
It's losing on the spot!
And oh my gosh!
Rook takes E6?
Drops another pawn.
What does
That's
he
the
want?
third pawn that Jan gives up.
Quickly played and resigned.
Handshakes. And that is it. E6 on the board. Ding Liren comes back in the match.
You see two worthy competitors and you see determination. I think that this is setting the scene for what could be an epic finale to this World Championship.
Fabi, no Sicilian prediction today?
No, not today. E45 going on the board.
Great call. We've got the King's Pawn opening.
I think that his opening choice was relatively ambitious, more ambitious than I expected after the game yesterday. I was kind of thinking he might just not want to play today.
Ding sat down and played that move instantly. I told you, I'm really worried for Jan Nepomniachtchi. Ding Liren's ahead on the clock. He's pulling a Jan Nepomniachtchi.
The World Championship match could potentially be decided today.
I think that this match is following the plot of a classic movie. The movie is Final Destination.
And he plays it. I mean, this is some really brave stuff. This position is getting spicy.
Moment
he
of
looked
truth.
up at Ding. Yeah, he's going to make a draw. So the repetition looks likely. The way he looked over at Ding, like, all right, it's a half point here.
We have it, guys. Rookie 1 on the board.
We have a handshake. The game is in the books. That means we still have a tied match. And for Ding Liren, that's a success, drawing with the black pieces.